Hey, what's up, y'all? It's me, DisBearity, and today I'm here to give you guys a raw, I guess, channel update for 2026 and tell you guys like what's been going on this channel and what I'm going to hopefully do going forward for this year. First and foremost, I want to talk about my personal life and what changes I made back in 2025. So first and foremost, back in July 2025, I lost my job. Nothing, too serious or anything like that. Just I got laid off. For those 3 months I was laid off. Money was running low. Everything was going, kind of hard, right? And then luckily for me, around October, mid October, I got a job opportunity that came up. A company contacted me, and now I was able to start working again, which is great. So since then, I've been working. Not basically nonstop, making money, bringing up my savings and stuff again, and trying to get life back on course. Because when you don't have money, you don't go anywhere. You can't go anywhere. You know, and as an adult, you have to have money. So like that's why now, as you guys can see, like the frequency of videos have kind of changed. Like the only time I'm able to, really get put out of videos when like I'm just not tired. It's all about like I guess you could say being motivated, right? So you're not motivated enough to like sit down in front of a camera after being at work all day. It's like, well, you just want to sit back and chill. So that's kind of like what I've been doing too, 50-50 of the time, basically. And then when I do motivate myself, I'm like, okay, I got to get this done. If I can get this done for this week, that'll be good for next week and so on and so forth. And I can just relax. So that's to kind of give you guys on what I personally been up to in that regard. I've been working since, mid-October. And so now, and I work 30, 40 hours, normal hours a week like any other person. So, and that's just something that I personally, have to time in and factor. Like when I get home, I just, shit. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Coffee has been saving my ass. I'm gonna keep that a buck because work is work. Again, you got to make that money, right? So some of y'all might have been wondering, like, where are the large variety of my videos? Like, like video essays, what do you call first impressions and stuff like that. Well, sadly, again, because I've been working, I just don't have enough time to really sit down and do those kind of videos. Like, especially example here, my Agent Empires 4 videos, right? I used to play Agent Empires 4 all the time. I was excited for the new DLC. I enjoy the hell out of Agent Empires. I almost have 500 hours in the game, right? But ever since I started working, I just can't dedicate time anymore to Agent Empires 4. So when I do sit down and play a game or match your sessions, it's like, am I motivated? I gotta have my mind in that, in that mindset, right? In that or whatever. So that, but besides that, that kind of goes into the reason why I kind of only been uploading like Let's Plays, for example, because I can at least sit down, I can record a video or two, spend an hour, record a video or two, or maybe even three, and then call it a day, and then I can just edit as much as I can, upload it, and I'll be set for like a week or two. So I used to upload like 4 Let's Plays on the series on the channel and whatnot. I used to have like a couple of series, an RTS series, a tournament strategy series, and an RPG series. All because that's what I'm known for here at this channel, and I'll talk about that actually a little bit later. And so right now, I only have enough time for Let's Play stuff. It's like, damn, I wish I can, I wish I had the time like a lot of other creators, to sit down and look for any type of news or get people to send me news of things, and I can just create a video on it. Like example, a lot of Total War stuff happened this past couple weeks. I was 8 hours behind because, or 8 to 10 hours behind because I have to work. I get off work, I'm like, okay, now I can finally check out, see what's going on here. Same thing with like the Game Awards, which again was pretty but I was only excited for a couple games, so don't get me wrong. But besides that though, that's kind of like the only reason why y'all haven't been seeing a lot of Let's Plays and stuff. And I'm gonna break down like why what I'm saying is gonna make a little bit of sense later. So in 2025, I had set some internalized goals. Part of those goals were to hit 1,700 subscribers and also hit 200 views. Those were my internalized goals. Like I want to be at 200 views. I'm talking about like per video, like averaging, right? And a lot of those videos, for the most part, I will say I actually hit those views. Don't get me wrong. It just depends on what kind of video that I'm currently uploading or doing. But here's the thing though, is that I feel like as I have been hitting those goals, I also feel like that I personally have been failing as a creator and kind of just like failing to figure out on where to go forward, especially when looking at my YouTube analytics. And I'm gonna get into that a little bit soon here. And as a creator, again, when you feel like that you're failing as a creator, you know, it kind of feels like, where do you go from here? You know, how far can you go? What can you do in order to better your channel? You know, and the YouTube landscape is honestly changing. And I'm gonna talk about it right now. So you might ask, well, DisBearity, how's the YouTube landscape changing? Y'all, let me tell you something here. Gaming channels on YouTube, they're really, first off, they're really super oversaturated. It's hard to grow as a gaming creator, purely a gaming creator, which is why a lot of people pivot. You know, one of my main reasons why becoming a YouTuber is this. You know, I was a Twitch streamer for like 8 years. Didn't do well on Twitch. You know, I averaged 20, 30 viewers at one point, but growth wasn't there. It wasn't enough to hit partner back then, at least in the standards that they had back then. You know, so I was like, well, I see the writing on the wall for me. Let me become a YouTuber. You know, I became a YouTuber back in 2020. I was testing the waters, and then 2021 is when I started to really late 2020 to 2021 is when I really started taking YouTube seriously. You know, I always told myself, I said, hey, I'm gonna become a YouTube partner without doing drama or whatever. What was, you know, without doing reaction videos. What I mean by reaction videos are like, just, as y'all know, there are plenty of reaction channels out there that just react to anything and people clap like seals. You know, you know, like when I look at certain reaction channels, example, there are reaction channels that react to Total War, for example. They don't even play Total War, but they react to it and they get like 1,000 views. You know, so that's part of like way how the YouTube atmosphere is changing. You know, we have AI running rampant right now. We have AI automation. We have just pure reaction channels. People just sitting there at their table talking about, you know, reacting to this YouTuber that said this thing, or reacting to this political channel that said this thing, you know, or something of the sort, you know. And it's like, how do you compete with that, doing that as a gaming channel, other than, you know, to react, you know, or to just copy the, you know, what's going on and just react like everybody else, you know? Because is that the current meta right now in order to do it? You know, like I said, I told myself that I don't want to become partner that way. You know, I want to kind of like, I guess you call it doing the genuine way, right? You know, putting out gaming news, you know, let's play, so on and so forth, you know, and grow from there. And, you know, guess what? It took me a year and 3 months and I did it, you know, and I did it. But now when you hit partner, you know, but it felt great. But now we're in this era, like I said, that we're in this era where, again, AI is running rampant, reaction channels, negativity, people are feeding into that, and that's what they want to watch. You know, that's literally what they want to watch. And it's insane. Like, example for me, for my own personal channel, looking at my own analytics, you know, my Let's Plays, they get watched. But here's the thing, they don't get pushed, you know? And YouTube is all about right now. I'm sorry to tell you guys, subscribers, they don't matter. They don't matter in 2025, 26, whatever. They don't matter. It's about watch time now. How can, you know, we keep your guys' eyes glued on this platform or on our channels, you know? Because if I don't do anything outlandish, you know, or say anything outlandish, you know, most people will just click away from the video in the first 30 seconds. So it's very surprising. You know, we're literally in this era. And so, like, you know, like, again, for me, people like my Let's Plays, they watch them, but they don't get pushed, you know, and it kind of sucks, you know. But here's another thing, if I do a reaction video, like one of my largest reaction videos was reacting to Total War 40K, which I do. I mean, I love 40K, I love Warhammer, you know, but I'm reacting to it or whatnot, right? That video was like one of my largest videos of this year, basically. And that's still getting pushed to this day. And that will happen like 2 or 3 weeks ago, you know? So it tells me that there is something to that, you know? People love that. And so, again, you know, like, actually, I will just say this in general. My Warhammer content does get pushed pretty well for the most part, which is why I've been contemplating for the past, like, couple of years, if I'm like, or at least not couple of years, I'm sorry, a year, like, if I should just create a whole separate Warhammer channel to talk about Warhammer, you know, because I mean, I love talking about Warhammer and it's pretty fun, but it's like, look, I don't want to abandon the gaming channel that I built, or the gaming channel that got me to where I'm at, you know? And, you know, that's versus my other content where I try to do, like, you know, gaming news. You know, if you don't say something correct or the right way, people are going to hate you for it or dislike you for it. You know, if you don't do video essays the correct way, you know, or if you don't feature someone's favorite game, they're going to, you know, say something, or if audio isn't correct, you know, it's a lot of pressure doing those kind of videos, like those gaming, like, you know, those gaming, or not really gaming news, especially the video essays. Those videos take me at least about 2 days to do, because, you know, I have to script it. I have to voice it, you know. And when I'm scripting it, I have to make sure that I make sure that it's definitely, when I type it out and stuff, I have to make sure it sounds good in my head. If it sounds good in my head, then it sounds good to you guys or whatnot, right? So that's what I have to do. Then I have to voice it, make sure I try to make as less errors as possible. And then, you know, I have to get the gaming footage and so on and so forth. You know, it takes about 2-3 days to do that, you know? And then to see those videos, like some of my video essays did really well. Some just didn't get pushed, you know? So it's like, when you see you create those videos and they don't get the traction or the push that they need, it's just like, it kind of demotivates you from doing them, you know? But here's the other sad part is that YouTube Shorts, I posted all my clips, a good majority of my clips. I want to say like 70% of my clips that I made on Twitch. And I'm talking, I had like over 1,000 clips, y'all. Posted at least 70% of those clips. No, I won't say 1,000. I'll say about a good 500 clips. I posted a good 60%. I will say 60% of those clips. And my older YouTube Shorts are still getting pushed versus my newer YouTube Shorts, which is really weird, you know. But I don't know. I don't know if it's because of the game or the trends, but, you know, it kind of just shows me like, you know, it's like, that's why I haven't really been motivated to like even upload YouTube Shorts like that, because it's like, you can put all this effort into editing a YouTube short, adding in text, you know, they'll make things look catchy. But you know what though? If it gets no traction, it's like, what's the point? You kind of get what I mean? And so that's why I'm like in this weird conundrum. It's like, where do I personally go on here? And this is why I'm going to talk about like why I kind of like changed my name from like, because as you guys know, if y'all have been with me for quite a while, I went from DisBearity, RTS, TBS, and RPGs to just DisBearity, and I'm talking about why. So I'm gonna be honest, and people aren't gonna hear it like this. Look, and I'm not even trying to even pull like the card or anything of sort, but as of right now, I literally feel like I'm personally fighting an uphill battle because I was like the only black guy, or I feel like I'm the only black man that plays strategy games here on YouTube. And because of that, right, I'm already fighting a uphill battle with already established YouTubers who's been in the strategy, at least, you know, niche or area for quite some time. And I'm like quite some time, I'm talking about like 5 years to a decade, whatnot, to maybe even 15 years. So I'm already fighting that uphill battle, you know. And hey, I haven't been proving this yet, but if y'all can find me another black guy that plays strategy games, let me know. Because I got in comments in the past, it's like, yo, I never found a black guy playing strategy games, but hey, here you are. I was like, oh yeah, I am. That's pretty cool, you know? So that's why, like, I don't know. I grew up with strategy games. I love strategy games. I played Age of Empires growing up. I played Civilization growing up. You know, I played Empire Earth growing up, you know, especially on the Sierra Online, you know, back in the days before it got shut down. Now, I played a lot of those games growing up, you know? But it's like, when you're already going against established channels, you know, what can you do? You know? But I will say this, though. The good thing, though, is that as I became a YouTuber, especially a partner YouTuber, I did get a lot of opportunities from different game devs. I was giving, you know, of course, free games. I probably have over 100 to 200 emails of game devs, you know, asking me to, hey, can you showcase this game on your channel? Can you do this and do, you know? And a lot of those games, I want to say 60% of those games I showcased because those games interested me. I was like, you know, I'm going to be genuine. I'm not going to showcase every single game that's offered, but I will showcase the ones that are interesting to me because, you know, I like strategy. You know, like the Wandering Village. I'm like, shout out to them. That game was fantastic. I love that game. You know, Trez Brothers. You know, Cyber Knights, Flashpoint. Hell, I'm doing a let's play on that game right now, and that game is freaking addicting. Even though there are certain points where it pisses me off because it gives you that XCOM experience. But you know, I've been enjoying it, so shout out to that. So here's why I dropped the RTS, TBS, and RPGs out of my name. It's that I, as a creator, need to expand. But the problem with that is that when I do expand, it does slow my growth. Because I'm not niching down. And niching down on YouTube is important because you do cultivate an audience that likes that specific thing. But here's the thing with niching down is that you don't want to niche down too far because then you can't expand, because once you post something brand new, you know, your viewers don't react to those videos. They don't like those videos, and you know, your channel doesn't get pushed, and that can kind of basically kill your channel. And so that's why, like, I'm in this kind of like dilemma. It's like that's what I'm like stating. It's like an uphill battle for me, no matter what I do as a creator, you know? So I'm trying to figure out on what I can do to combat that in a sense. So one of the ways that I wanted to combat this was to build a larger community of like-minded people who enjoy what I enjoy, you know? And if you guys enjoyed my videos or whatnot, then it gets pushed onto the algorithm. Now, one of the ways I was doing that was through live streams, and I met a lot of great folks through my live streams. A lot of cool people that come on through, talk for a bit, chill out. While I play some Oblivion Remastered or something of the sort, or maybe some Age of Empires 4. Whenever I had the time, and it was great to do that. Honestly, it felt really good. But like, at the end of the day, if not enough people come out that way, then your newer videos don't get pushed, and it is what it is at that point. And as you know, as I stated earlier, YouTube has changed. It's no longer about the you, aka me. It's more about the audience, what you guys want to watch, basically. And because if no one watches your newer or different kind of videos or content, then our channels, they just don't grow. So it's up to the viewer to decide to watch them. And once the viewer watches, and maybe engages with the video, the algorithm YouTube gods are like, okay, well, your viewer likes it, we're gonna push this video out, and it's gonna go further or whatnot, right? And if your videos don't pop off like that, then it is what it is. Because once I put my video out there, that's it. I just hope, I'm just like, hey, y'all watch it, y'all watch it. And so, yeah, and as I stated again, YouTube right now is being run by AI automation, negative reaction channels, political reaction channels. It feels like Twitch right now, once Twitch ditched gaming as its primarily focus and went into the IRL or drama farm kind of category. And so, just like, it's a lot of energy. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's just a lot of energy. And it's because people think, well, being a YouTube creator, it's so easy. In certain subsections, yes, but in other sections, no. It's a challenge, And I'm not trying to go the route where I have to do trendy videos every single day in order to stay relevant. I think that's retarded. I'm sorry. I'm not even gonna be sorry to use that word. I think it's retarded. I'm not gonna even do that. And that's just have some type of relevancy. Now, keep in mind, y'all, with all this stated, I do want to say thank you to all the people who gave me a chance to grow. I do appreciate the memories that I created with the people within the community, because truth be told, y'all, not a lot of people can hit that 1,000 subscriber or 4,000 watch time count. Not a lot of people can do that. A lot of people usually give up at that point. So y'all, if anybody can get past that point, then you can go further. But it's just once you hit that mark, once you hit that hump or go over that hump, it's a challenge to keep on growing. So I decided that in order to, I guess, combat a lot of this, or this in general, is that I'm going to try to just make my channel into more of a general gaming channel, I guess. And I'm going to be moving my podcast over to a different channel. The channel is called The Playface. I'll end up linking it in the description below. So I'm currently working on porting all my podcast videos over to that channel within the next coming weeks. So I'm going to have audio and video versions of our podcasts. And then for any type of multiplayer gameplay where like Age of Empires 4, I may still post on this channel, but for the most part, y'all, I do have a secondary channel, which is called DisBearity XL, and that's where that's going to be going. So if y'all are pure multiplayer people and y'all like just to watch multiplayer gameplay, that's where all my multiplayer content is going to be going. So y'all can watch over there. Now, I did say this though. In 2026, of course, this year, this is going to be the year for me for GRPGs. So I'm going to be focusing a lot more on GRPGs. But with that said though, I'm still going to be playing RTS games. I'm just waiting for more content for us. I mean, I'm actually really technically getting back into AoE for it now. I'm playing it like at least a couple times a week, I guess you could say now. But I'm really waiting for Dawn of War 4. That's what I'm really waiting for. I'm really like excited for that game, and yeah, that's what I'm really waiting for, truth be told. But as you know, I'm focusing on my Stellaris playthrough. I'm really loving Stellaris again right now. It's been difficult getting back into like relearning the systems of the game, but I'm getting back into it. I'm gonna be uploading some Europa Universalis 5. It's a lot with Europa Universalis 5. It's a lot of information overload for me. So I have to like really sit down and sit there for like about a couple hours, to like really sit there and learn the game. Now I want to start focusing on some city builders on this channel too, because I love city builders. And there's a lot of things that I want to do for sure. But sure, through live streams though, yeah, JRPGs are going to be the primary thing of this year. So I'm going to be starting in February Final Fantasy series. I'm going to start from Final Fantasy 1 and go all the way up to 15. 16. We're going to be just doing the mainline stuff. So I'm excited for that. Again, I'm still doing turn-based strategy games as well. If I find a turn-based game, tactics game that's interesting, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to play it. But, you know, that's kind of like where I'm at right now in 2026. I'm gonna try to still do, you know, gaming news here and there. I also want to try, and I mean try, I'm gonna attempt to start doing gaming reviews. Now, I'm really nervous about doing them. Like, I don't know if I should do a short reviews, like, you know, 5 minutes or 10-minute reviews, you know, longer, but it's gonna be quite a challenge in order to like get them going, because it's gonna be my first you know, review or whatnot, or gaming review. So I'm hopefully that, you know, that could probably start kicking off a little bit. But you know, again, another thing I want to hit up is, like, you know, monetary wise on YouTube monetary wise, like in terms of money, I've been getting a payout at least every other month, which has been pretty good so far. I know a lot of people, when we talk about things, or creators talk about things, they think, well, you make money through AdSense, and so that means that I don't have to support you. No, baby, that's not the case. We don't, as a gaming YouTube channel, we make dick. I'm gonna keep it a buck. We don't make much. You know, we make more money through memberships and super chats than anything. So, like, I'm gonna say it like this: if y'all are ever feeling generous, you know, and I know that I get it, it's tough times for everybody or whatnot. You know, $3 a month or a $3 or $2 super chat goes a long way, because that actually covers AdSense for a video, you know, and that's actually pretty insane. But I know that when us creators talk about stuff like that, it feels really taboo, because people are like, no, we don't, you're greedy, you're doing this, you're doing that. It's like, no, that's not the case. You know, it's not really the case. It's just like with anybody, y'all support the creator and what they're doing, you know, just show some love, because otherwise, because it does keep us motivated too. That's another factor, because it kind of shows us that, hey, we're doing something right. You know, and when people don't engage with your videos or like your videos or anything of the sort, but, you know, if they support monetarily, it helps out. Like, I have a couple of you who say, well, DisBearity, I don't have a lot of time to watch your videos, but, you know, hey, I support you monetarily. Or when I'm like, hey, that's cool, because, you know, you're supporting me in that kind of sense. You know, when you can, I'm like, hey, watch when you can watch. But, you know what, that's all. I don't want this video to go on for far too long, because I do have more to say, but I think I'm gonna stop right here, because I don't want this video to go on for any longer than what it has to. So this is just to give you guys like an idea on what I want to go for my channel, honestly. But so thank you guys for watching the video. I hope that some of you guys stuck around longer than 30 seconds or a minute. And if y'all did, I appreciate you guys. If y'all, you know, it does mean a lot. You know, if y'all did, just put a comment down in the comment section. Let me know what your thoughts, and I'll see y'all for any other future videos. Peace out, y'all. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and also hit the bell notification down below. Thanks for watching.